Welcome back, friends. Zach here, and I'm sitting right outside my local Goodwill, hoping I can find something good to resell online for profit. So I'm gonna go ahead and share with you anything I come up with. Follow along. Alrighty, hoping for a good week of sourcing.
Where is my coffee, Zach?
No answer.
Starting in the women's jacket rack, and that's just because I've noticed they've been putting out more women's vests and jackets. So I'm just trying to see what I can't find before the crowd comes in. I didn't see anything in the women's jackets, but going ahead and cruising around the hard goods, just hoping to find something decent. Here in men's shoes, just gonna mob up and down these aisles real quick, see if there's anything worth grabbing. These are Nike Air Max Milans, but the air sole is deflated, so I'm gonna skip on them. Through men's polo shirts and haven't found anything worth a darn. Here's a challenging one here. These are brand new Carhartt FR work utility pants, but they're very dirty. They do have the tags, but they're women's size 2 by 28 inseam, which is an odd size. They probably wouldn't sell very fast, even though they're new. They need cleaned up, and they're $15.09, so probably gonna walk on these, but I'm gonna look them up. Alrighty, Universe always reminds me to give my son, who's in the United States Marine Corps, a big shout out. Oorah, yeah, love you, son. Be safe out there, miss you tons. Always trying to check the glass cases. It's been quite a while since I've pulled anything out to purchase from this glass case at this store, but occasionally you might find a little gem, a bolo, maybe even a grill find. So no real luck at the local Goodwill today. That's all right, though. I do have to race off and get a haircut here pretty quick, and then I'm gonna go ahead and resume filming some content. We'll be making a few stops at a couple other smaller thrift stores, and hopefully I'll find a few things. Just gotta stay optimistic. Here at my local barber shop, my barber's been a homie for a lot of years. We used to play sports against each other, and then we had the opportunity to play semi-professional football for a couple years. That's when we really became better bros, but I'm super grateful for him and all of his people. So I'm gonna race in here and get some of this ugly knocked down. Just got my top chopped off in a considerable way. Went back to my high school cut. Feels good at springtime, so I wanted something that was a little lighter and a little bit more manageable. And shout out to my friends at Sharper Barbers. Jesse, appreciate you, dog. So now I'm racing in here to Twice Blessed. This is a smaller thrift store. This is one that is owned by a family friend. Hopefully I can find some goods in here. It's been a slow start. Let's hope for the best. Dun dun dun. Okay, bumped into these Olokai men's sandals. They're only $6, and that's a great brand to resell, so be on the lookout for that little hook emblem. All right, so these Olakais were priced at $6, and my good friend Brenda sold them to me for $2. That's a score. These will probably sell for low 20s. They are a big size, and they're pretty good shape. I'll have to clean them up a little, but finding something's better than nothing. I'm mobbing into the secondhand wolf thrift store here in my local hometown, hoping for something good. It's just been slow. Digging through t-shirts, haven't found much in here. This is a smaller store, but had a good visit with the owner and one of the ladies that operates, and at least that was done and something positive came from it. Words to live by. Blazing through the shoe aisle right now. Haven't found anything here at this establishment. That's all right, gonna get it down the road here pretty quick. Big strikeout at the second-hand wolf, but that's okay. It is a smaller store, so they're limited on their clothing inventory. I still scrapped through the hard goods and the shoes, and nothing there, so that's okay. I definitely need to get my butt up to Colorado, probably tomorrow morning, where the thrifting market is better, but just kind of been holding my coin. Gonna have hopefully some better weather here in northern New Mexico this weekend, and that always means that the flea market is better and there's a lot more garage sales. So just kind of holding on to my money and being very selective the last few weeks, because I don't want to be paying up for goods if I don't have to, and thrift stores can be expensive. So gonna race down the road, gonna hit up the friends and family thrift store that is right down the street from my house. Gonna say hi to those ladies and keep my fingers crossed that I might be able to find some goods to resell online there. So just got a few more minutes before I hit the next stop, but wanted to put this out there because I feel like this is really important. And my first year of reselling, I didn't really go by this premise or by this principle, but I think it's really important to have some type of blueprint, some metrics, a game plan on how you're gonna run your business.
And as I have said in past videos, because I live and source goods in a more rural area, it can be a little bit tough to find stuff, especially after the holidays in Q1. And so this is definitely my struggle of coming from a smaller area and just having those limited sourcing options. But as I've probably said in several videos in the past, and I'll say it again, one of the things I do for my business model is I really try to focus on sourcing a lot of goods during the summer months when I can hit garage sales, estate sales, rummage sales, sports team fundraiser sales, you name it, any type of sale. I want to be at it and try to get the most bang for my buck. And I really do save a lot of money by sourcing goods that way. Now, on the flip side of it, always sourcing goods at garage sales is tricky. Sometimes the items you might find could be tremendously good, but they might be beat up, they might be in rougher shape. And what I do find at most thrift stores tend to be items that are in a little bit better shape. Maybe they've already been cleaned. They're just in a little bit better sellable condition, and that's something that you don't get with garage sales, with estate sales, those type of sales. However, I don't mind doing the footwork to clean items, to wash items, to spit polish them up, especially if it's something good. And because I can buy things for literally sometimes 1/3 to 1/5 of the cost of what I would pay at a thrift store, it's very much a no-brainer to try to hit it hard in the spring, summer, and fall months and hit the estate sale, garage sale scene hard. So if you're somebody that comes from a smaller area with limited thrifting options and you're getting into reselling, you might find it hard to keep an inventory always up. And if that's the case, my best advice to you is to thrift even harder, but to also be thinking about the off months when you can source goods at garage sales for cheaper. I know not everybody's crazy about hitting garage sales, but the other opportunity that lies with garage sales and sometimes estate sales or any type of sales done by the individual rather than a business is that you have the opportunity to barter, to dicker, to haggle for the price you want. And that's a really fun part of reselling. That's a part that I enjoy, that I don't really get to do too much of during the thrift season. And while I do have several smaller thrift stores that are willing to take offers from me, it doesn't always mean that they will. And so for that reason, I just wanted to throw that out there and put that in your ear, because I certainly know the struggles of having to source in a small market. So I hope that that helps somebody who's getting started, maybe who's new to the scene, and someone like me that's probably struggles at times to find consistent high sell-through rate goods. So I have just pulled up to my favorite thrift store. This is the thrift store where I love all the ladies that work here. It is a church-based thrift store, so the prices are great. The pastor who runs this church was once a law dog, a police officer in my hometown. He has the biggest heart in the world, and I just love the dude. He's just become a really great friend, as is all the ladies who volunteer their time here. So I'm gonna go in here and see how many hugs I can get and hopefully find some good stuff, because today is definitely dead.
I bumped into these Gramici men's cargo shorts. They're only a few dollars. I'd have to look up how Gramici cargo shorts sell. Unfortunately though, they have some damage, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do the old walkaroo. This sweet pair of Ultras down here at my local thrift store, and these ladies are always good to me. They're gonna let these go for not much, and those are the kind of deals I like.
Well, pretty slow day out there sourcing. Today I made 4 stops and only came up with 2 different items. I got the Olakai sandals for $2 and the Ultra running shoes for $3, so $5 for 2 pretty decent brands. But right now, this is the time of year I'm always looking for numbers. I did find some items today that were okay, but I like good and great because those are the items that sell faster. And so what I think I'm gonna do is go ahead and resume filming some content tomorrow up in Southern Colorado. It is always much better up there, and I'm able to share with you a lot more of my finds. So we'll resume this bad boy tomorrow morning. If you made it this far, please reach out there and hit that like button. I appreciate it. Welcome back, friends. As promised, it's the next morning and I'm up here in Southern Colorado, and I'd love to say it's a beautiful bluebird day, but they actually got some snow up here last night, so it's cold as hell for April the 2nd or 3rd or whatever the hell it is. But regardless, I'm gonna race into the Goodwill, try to ham it up with a few of my friends, and also try to find some stuff to resell online for profit. If you watched the earlier part of the video, I did source in my local area, which is very inconsistent. And so because I only found 2 things, I'm gonna share with you what I find today, and hopefully that's a lot. So follow along.
Keeping my intentions set, staying positive, and hoping for the best. I'm just gonna systematically come through each rack and hammer through as fast as I can before this place fills up with other resellers, pickers, and flippers just like me. Stumbled across this men's, it's a women's Carhartt sweater. But I've sold this in the past for about 25 bucks, but they got it priced at $10.99, and the tag doesn't have it marked as on special, so I'm gonna have to walk. Too much money. Bumped into this LL Bean men's cardigan. It's a great size as it's 2XL, and it's also tall, and it's also upgraded material as it's 100% lamb's wool. And so I'm gonna go ahead and scoop it up. It is $6.99, which isn't terrible for this store, and these sell for right around mid-30s to low 40s. So I'm gonna grab it. I hadn't found much else, and it does have a 67% sell-through rate, which isn't great, but it's not terrible, so it's good enough for me. I love selling some on-cloud shoes, or on I should call them, but these are $14.99, and they're pretty beat up, and they don't have the original insole. It looks like somebody put some Merrell insoles, which they'd still sell, but beaters like this don't sell for as much, and I just hate cleaning shoes, so probably gonna walk. And I hate walking on, and I hate walking on Hoka, but these thrift stores just keep pricing these brands up. So this is one of my favorite golf polo brands. Now this guy's not performance material, it's actually just cotton, but still a great brand. It is white, so I need to give it the doctor inspection or the doctor's look over just to make sure it's not dirty, because white's a tough color. But be on the lookout for Grayson. Generally the emblem will have a little woof on it, and I'm not sure this one does, but Grayson is money. All right, so this is a pretty hot brand out there, and I've actually been debating buying myself some of their camo shorts and even one of their hats, but this Burlbo is a nice Aztec Southwest print. Super popular brand right now. I'm gonna go ahead and scoop it up regardless. I haven't looked it up. The price is up there though, so maybe I should look it up, but I'm gonna grab it anyways. I can sell this. Extra tough boots do have a pretty good sell-through rate. These are $16.99, and they're only the 6-inch. But generally these will sell for upper 30s to upwards of sometimes 80 bucks if they're really clean. And the soles of these are pretty clean. They just need a little polish in. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab them. So was thumbing through shirts, and I came across this Cortina Italia shirt. And anytime I come across something made in Italy, I always try to look it up. This guy came across all those, and it was 100% merino. But I looked it up, and there was 55 available, and only like 11 had sold. So I'm gonna walk on it. I definitely hate to walk on anything merino, especially that's made in Italy, but there's not much desire in the market for this, so walking completely. All right, bumped into another Burlbo shirt, but the button-ups don't have a great sell-through rate, so I'm gonna pass on this shirt. I am, however, gonna go ahead and keep the one with Aztec print that I showed you earlier. They do sell for close to $30, and oftentimes if an item has a great print, and Aztec Southwest native print is hot right now, I will grab it even if the brand ain't great. But this one here I'm gonna go ahead and pass on, which I hate to do because Burlbo is a growing popular brand, especially online. But this one just doesn't have a whole lot going for it, and it is again $10.99, which is a lot to pay for a button-up short sleeve shirt. All right, bumped into this Cinch WRX flame resistant long sleeve button-up. It is only $7. Has some color fade, and it does seem to have all the buttons. It's just war, which is not uncommon for flame resistant work utility wear. I think I might grab it. It is $7. I think I can get 20 something bucks for this maybe. I don't know, I'm gonna think on this. Patagonia is definitely one of my favorite brands to resell. I love selling adventure apparel, gorecore, whatever you want to call it. I haven't had a whole lot of success with their flannels, but a lot of times when I find them, they're in a small size, and I hate selling small, so I'm gonna walk on this guy because it's marked at 11 bucks. Okay, I'm not gonna buy this because this is George, and George is a Walmart brand, but I said this in a video this past summer, and I said this earlier, that sometimes you can sell based on brand, and that's what I typically do, but a lot of times if the brand power ain't there, you can sell based on the style. And again, Aztec Southwest print is pretty hot now, so if you use a lot of good keywords, sometimes you can sell brands that are lesser, less desired, as long as you pump the description with good keywords. I am gonna walk on this guy though. All right, this is a power brand right here. This is one of my favorites. These Viore dress khakis or chinos look pretty good. They are $12.99, but I could probably sell these for $50, maybe a little more. So don't sleep on Vuori. Their tags can be a little discreet. My passions is traveling, and since I've become a business owner, that is something I don't get to do as much as I like to, but always wander far, and I hope you're able to wander often. Gonna scoop up these North Face belted hiking shorts. They are only $6, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab them. They're in pretty decent shape, and they are XL. I like plus sizes, and this is the type of stuff in the spring I'm really trying to hoard for my spring and summer sale. Smoking through the hard goods section, I did find this cast iron cross. It's $3. I've done pretty good on cast iron crosses or decorative crosses in general, but anything metal just seems to sell faster, and it's easy to list. It's literally just 2 pictures. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab this guy. Probably only sell it for 15, 20 bucks, but still worth the flip. Perusing through the women's section, and I found this quilted corduroy collared women's vest. It's LL Bean. I just kill on LL Bean outerwear, so it's $7. A little bit more than I want to pay for it, but I'm gonna go ahead and pay up today because everything else I bought was pretty expensive too. I'm gonna go ahead and scoop up this fig scrub top. I've been a little bit particular about picking figs, but this one isn't a plus size. So I'm gonna follow the trend of paying up for everything. All right, everybody, this is my friend, fellow reseller, Kelly here, and she has a cool find. This is a humanoid, what would you call that?
This is a jumpsuit.
It's a jumpsuit, all right, and the crazy part.
Here's a jumpsuit in stucco, and it was at one point almost $500.
So that's pretty crazy.
And it's $9.99.
What a great find. But Kelly here has actually been really cool. She shared with me a lot of her knowledge, and she's been a clothing reseller longer than I have. And so it's just nice to not feel like it's any competition, and we can share our finds with one another.
All in it together.
So I'm grateful for you, lady, and I'm glad that you found a $500 jumpsuit, even though it won't probably sell for that much, but still, very cool.
Like, you'll only get what people want to pay for it, so.
Yeah, I get happy when I find something with tags, but I usually only sell it for half what the retail was.
So we'll give it a go, we'll see what happens.
Well, thanks for sharing that with me. I appreciate you. All right, so my good friend Kelly, fellow reseller, actually turned me on to this Duck Canvas Kids Carhartt vest. It does have some stains, but I'm gonna give it the magic of OxyClean spray and detergent, and I probably could get it pretty cleaned up. It is only $4.99, so this is a great find, and I definitely own it. So there is $90 spent, and I picked up just about everything I showed you. The only thing I didn't get is I passed on the Cinch FR long sleeve shirt. It was just a little too wore out, and I had a lot of better stuff that I was definitely paying up for. So I'm gonna race down the street to the Methodist Thrift, kind of wind my day down here, and then maybe get back down towards my house and hit the local thrift shop, and then wind this video out. If you made it this far, please hit that like. All right, another one of my favorite stops on my thrift store loop or circuit. This is Methodist Thrift, and everybody who watches me knows I tend to finish my day up here in Durango at this store. This store always has really great prices on their clothing. Their shoe prices have climbed up some, but that's just how the market's been. So I'm gonna go in here and give it the old college try. Okay, so this store recently remodeled, and they moved a bunch of the aisles around, and it's a small store, but I was a little thrown off because I walked in and walked right to the women's clothing, which is where I usually kind of finish. So let's see what we find. Okay, I'm burning through t-shirts, and I usually don't do too many t-shirts, but I hadn't found much else in the men's section, and that's all right. I did pretty good at the other store. So I'm gonna go ahead and stay optimistic and keep searching for those power brands I like to flip. This would have been one hell of a find, but unfortunately the CD player doesn't work, and I've moved away from selling electronics online because of the scammers that are out there. I hate to walk on this one, but it's just not fully functional, so gonna turn my back to it. All right, I haven't found a whole lot here at the Methodist Thrift, but I did bump into these on Roger Federer tennis shoes, and I've actually sold these in a white colorway. They have them marked at 23 bucks, which is way high, but they do sell for about 50 to 70 bucks, so I might just grab them because I haven't found anything else today here. All right, here's the haul from Methodist Thrift. I did go with the On shoes. I had to pay up for them, but it's definitely a style I've sold before, and I like selling On shoes, especially when they're cleaner. These do need a little bit of a polish, but they still do have the sticker, the original sticker on the inside. So they were wore, but not heavily, and On's just a power brand. But I also found a pair of Miss Me shorts. Did pay $5 for these. I sell a lot of Miss Me jeans. They're very easy to keyword and very popular with the ladies. And so I paid up for everything today, but everything I got was a really great brand. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my way back down south.
So just got back home to my house here in northern New Mexico. All in all, I'll chalk it up to a pretty successful day out there thrifting in southern Colorado. And while I did pay up for all the items I purchased, there are power brands that I'm confident will sell and sell quickly for me. And I strongly suggest that you find brands that work for you and you go to town with them. I wish I would have been doing that much sooner in my reselling endeavor, but I am excited for this content and to produce this video because it gives such an honest depiction of what reselling is like. It can very much be like a roller coaster. And as you've seen earlier in this film, when I was sourcing my local area, I hit 4 stores yesterday and only found 2 items. But then I go up to southern Colorado this morning, hit 2 stores and bought 10 items. And so that's just the tribulations and the trials of being a full-time reseller. Know that it's not always going to be easy, that some days are going to be hard, but that you look at that adversity in the face and that you smile at it. That's the key to this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and wind this video down. If you like this video, please reach out there, hit that like button, make a comment, or as always, please subscribe.